Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dominique Davis, also known as Brown and Bendy, and on this channel we practice flexibility of the mind, the body, and the spirit. If you would like to learn what an empath is or how to survive in the world as an empath, continue watching. An empath is a very vibrationally sensitive person. Empaths are able to pick up on the vibrations of other people, and in turn they're able to pick up on the emotions of other people. Unfortunately, a lot of the times when empaths pick up these emotions, they're not picking them up consciously by saying, that person's sad, I know they're sad. Instead, if they come into contact with a person who is sad or depressed, instead they may take on that sadness and they may take on that depression emotionally without personal reason for themselves. A lot of times empaths are introverts because social environments can just be very, very overwhelming because of all the vibrations and all the emotions that can be involved when people are gathered in one place. Because empaths are unaware of the emotions that they take on, they can, well, first of all, let me stop saying they, because I am an empath. I am a hardcore empath. I have been my entire life. And before I knew I was an empath, I was just always continuously and constantly emotionally confused and overwhelmed when I shouldn't have been. So a lot of times we empaths end up in ongoing, perpetual emotional crises, because not only are we dealing with our own emotional shifts and emotional events in our lives, we're dealing with everyone else's. And a lot of the times we don't know that. When we don't know, it makes life a little bit more difficult than it needs to be. So today I want to talk about how, as an empath, to make your life more enjoyable and to honestly how to just survive. I just want to share 4 super quick tips on how to survive as an empath, and hopefully you can put these in your pocket and they can make your life a little bit easier to navigate. The first tip is to make a conscious decision that you as a person are your first priority and that other people's emotions are not your responsibility. Personally, as an empath throughout my life, because I've been able to understand people's emotions so well, when my friends and when my family would get into their own situations, because I could understand where they were coming from so well, I would always want to sit them down and say, well, talk to me about it. How are you feeling? Let's figure out how to get you from point A to point B to point C. Of course, that can be a part of being a good friend and a good family member, but when you're doing that on a daily basis for everybody that you know, it can drain your energy and it can stop you from focusing your energy on what you want because you're constantly worrying about other people. So I think that one of the first things as an empath to do is to understand that you have an ability, but just because you have an ability, that does not necessarily make other people's emotions your responsibility. Okay, so this is going to be the second tip. The key part to knowing whether you're an empath is noticing whether your vibration shifts for no reason. You can be having the best day. Everything's perfect. Nothing to complain about. Literally, you have nothing to complain about. Not consciously, not subconsciously. You're just good. But then you're depressed. But then you feel like something's missing. You're no longer content. Out of nowhere, the sky becomes gray and all of a sudden that good mood is nowhere to be found. That's actually very typical for empaths. And the second tip I will give is to just notice when that happens. I was living my life like that was normal. I was living my life like, okay, it's okay to be happy 1 minute and then to watch a TV show and then not be able to get myself happy again. That's just normal. That's just how life goes. But it's not. So the second thing to understand how to do as an empath is to just notice when you go from one vibration to another from outside circumstances. So these outside circumstances could be conversations with friends or family, watching movies, watching the news, things like that that don't necessarily have have anything to do with your own life experience, but they expose you to the emotions of others. Because if you're an empath, you're going to take on those emotions, you're going to feel the vibration. Number 3 is a very simple step, but it's very important. You want to have enough emotional intelligence and enough understanding about yourself to be able to know how to raise your own vibration. For you, it might be listening to music, it could be calling your best friend, it could be dancing in the shower, it could be drinking a delicious cup of tea. You want to know how to raise your vibration, because raising your vibration is going to be how you can recover. Empaths are really great companions for pets, and pets are really great companions for empaths, because pets generate this constant positive energy and can be a great balance between the confusion of the emotional world outside and just a simple life at home with your pet. But knowing yourself and understanding how to raise your vibration after coming into contact with something that shifts your mood is very, very important. And the last step that I will say is, if you have FOMO, otherwise known as fear of missing out, you just want to go ahead and forget about it. You want to get over it. That was, again, another difficult thing for me. I came from an environment, from school, from college, just, always going out on weekends, always hanging out when there is a possibility of people hanging out. I was always there. And I had to learn that that's just not my lane. It's not my lifestyle. As much as I want to know what's going on and be around people in the pictures, and it's draining. And it would drain me. And I only wanted to do it because I knew other people were there, not necessarily because I was enjoying myself. So when you're an empath, alone time is very important. Recharge time is very important. And a lot of times people are empaths because they have other gifts. And the only way to hone those gifts is to take some time to be alone and learn yourself. All right, you guys, so that is all I have for you today. I hope that this video was helpful and that it helps a little baby empath out there who may just be learning about their abilities. Being an empath is a blessing because it allows you to connect with people and understand people very, very easily. But you just have to understand how to protect yourself first. That's the point. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to comment and to like the video, and also make sure that you are subscribed. I adore you, and I will see you next video. Bye.